Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into the intricacies of improving intimacy in relationships. You know, those 5 tips that really revitalize not just the sex itself, but overall connection.
I'm excited to jump in. So what's the first tip that really sets the stage for a more, connected experience?
Well, the first point is pretty fundamental. It's all about nurturing your couple's friendship. I mean, when you truly like the person you're with, that admiration spills over into your intimate moments. It's
Yeah.
like you need to know your partner deeply, update your love maps, even the sexual maps, to really feed that sense of closeness.
Right. And it's interesting how even something seemingly small, like not expressing admiration, can make a huge difference, huh?
Exactly. Take, for instance, Dave and Tina as an example. They got caught up in routine and forgot to actively appreciate one another. When they started an admiration journal, where each wrote down little things they loved about the other, things started to, warm up emotionally.
Yep, that makes total sense. So it's like friendship really is the prelude, the real foreplay, if you will.
Precisely, it's the stage setter. And moving on to the second tip, which is even more nuanced, developing sexual and emotional intelligence.
Ah, I love that idea of sexual and emotional intelligence. Can you break that down a bit? Yeah.
Sure thing. So it's basically about how our brains interpret different stimuli, both external, like sights and sounds, and internal, like our thoughts and feelings. Dr. Emily Nagoski uses this neat concept of accelerators and brakes. For
Got it.
example, what might trigger arousal in one person might act as a brake for another, like in the case of Dave and Tina, where Dave's stress might fuel his desire, but for Tina, the same stress completely pulls her away.
That's really fascinating because it shows that what we find pleasurable is not one size fits all.
Definitely not. It's all so individual and sometimes completely counterintuitive. Like someone's brakes can even hit another's accelerator. It's this beautiful, if sometimes challenging dance of understanding each other's triggers.
And that really highlights the importance of discussing these things openly, right?
Exactly. Open communication becomes the bridge there, enabling partners to talk through what stokes their desire or what dampens it.
Now, what's the third tip about? I recall it had something to do with our environment.
Right? It's the context. Or as it's poetically put, the third party in the room. It might sound funny, but the environment really sets the tone for pleasure.
Yep.
Whether it's distracting noises, unexpected interruptions, or even the way furniture is arranged, our surroundings can either enhance or kill the mood.
So it's not just about what happens between the sheets, but also ensuring the surroundings are conducive to intimacy.
Absolutely. Think about it. If the space is cluttered or you have, say, kids or pets running around, it can break that immersive experience. Dave and Tina, for instance, created a cozy environment by turning off their phones, dimming the lights, and even having the kids taken care of for a while. It's a small
That's
yet
smart.
dramatic shift.
It really is an often overlooked facet. We rarely consider our everyday space as a potential player in our intimate moments.
True. So, moving on, tip number 4 is all about creating an erotic playground. Now, this one's fun. It's about introducing playfulness into intimacy.
Ah, the idea of an erotic playground that immediately conjures images of low stakes fun and exploration that reduces pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of like letting go of any scripted drama. Instead of high stakes, tense encounters, you introduce humor, play, even role playing. It makes the experience lighter
Yep.
and more immersive. Dave and Tina experimented with playful approaches, from joking around to even light wrestling under the sheets.
I do wonder though, isn't there a risk that too much playfulness might undermine the emotional depth? Like, could it, feel too gimmicky at times?
That's a fair point. I mean, it's all about balance. It's important that the playful elements are woven into a tapestry of genuine connection. It shouldn't be just for show, you know?
Exactly. It needs to feel organic. Too forced, and it might actually create distance instead of closeness.
Agreed. It's definitely a delicate balancing act between intimacy and play. Now, the final tip, which is planning for pleasure.
Planning for pleasure. That almost sounds, clinical at first, right? It seems a bit counter to the spontaneity we often associate with great sex.
I get that, but consider this. Just as you might plan a vacation to build anticipation, deliberate planning in your intimate life can create excitement and intentionality. Dave and Tina started scheduling regular intimacy nights, which didn't mean they had to, always end up having sex, but it laid the groundwork for reconnection.
That intentionality can really pay off. I can see that. It seems like planning minimizes the everyday chaos so that both partners are mentally and emotionally prepped.
Exactly. It centers pleasure as a core part of the relationship. It's almost like setting aside time purely for nourishing the connection, which then naturally spills over into physical intimacy.
That's a refreshing way to look at it. In our culture, planning intimate moments can sometimes feel like a checklist rather than a natural flow of emotion.
Right, and that's where the challenge lies. It's not about turning love into another chore, but rather making space for the things that truly matter.
I appreciate that nuance. It respects the spontaneity while still acknowledging that sometimes preparation is key when life gets busy.
Exactly. It's like a roadmap that guides you back to each other amidst the craziness
Absolutely.
of life.
So, if we piece it all together, we have enhancing friendship, understanding and managing our internal triggers, setting up the right context, creating a space for playful exploration, and then planning for those precious moments together.
Yes, that's the full picture. And each step feeds into the others. It's really about being intentional with both your emotional and physical connection.
And it all circles back to that core idea that improving sexual intimacy isn't just about the act itself. It's about a broader, deeper relationship.
Exactly. It's about building a truly resilient bond that survives the stresses and strains of everyday life. Interestingly, when partners manage these aspects, even if one area is off, the others can compensate and keep the spark alive.
Yeah, totally. One thing that I'd like to, gently challenge is the perfection sometimes implied by structured planning. In reality, emotions and spontaneity are messy, and some might argue that too much structure can, dampen that raw excitement.
I see your point, and that's definitely a valid concern. It's a balancing act. The planning should serve as a gentle guide rather than a strict schedule, allowing room for spontaneity and for things to feel naturally passionate.
Exactly. Ultimately, it's a personal journey for every couple, right? What works for Dave and Tina might not work for someone else, but the underlying principles of connection and understanding remain universal.
Absolutely. It's about exploring together, figuring out each one's unique accelerators and brakes, creating a shared environment that fosters intimacy, and ensuring you never take each other for granted.
Yes, that's the heart of it. Well, this discussion really highlights how multifaceted intimacy is. It's like a dance between emotional vulnerability and physical pleasure, each step influencing the next.
Exactly. And if couples can navigate that dance mindfully, they can truly create a fulfilling, vibrant relationship. So whether it's through an admiration journal, thoughtful planning, or a playful escapade into an erotic playground, each step is a building block for deeper connection.
That was, a really insightful ride through these strategies. Thanks for unpacking these tips. It's both practical and, honestly, a bit poetic.
Thank you. It's all about embracing both the art and science of love, keeping things dynamic yet deeply rooted in emotional support. Until next time, keep exploring those intimate connections.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone, and may you enjoy many, intentionally joyful moments together.